Hi everyone, it's Ashley, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. So I just got home from work and I want to talk about what I have been warming. So I have this basket of wax melts here and I figured let's just get right into it. So as I do, I'm going to start with Scentsy, and I think I'm going to start with the non-wax items. So I have some pods in here. They are in Frosted Vanilla, which is a scent that was in the fall winter catalog that is now discontinued. Maybe you'll see these pop into clearance. I certainly hope not, if I'm like hoping they're not discontinued for good and they come back. I love this scent, Frosted Vanilla. I put the wax bar into my club. Won't talk much about this scent though, since you can't get it anymore, but these I use throughout all of our fan systems. So I have a air purifier in our bedroom and also at work. And then I like to finish up my pods in our bathroom. I like to use them overnight in the lighted fan diffuser because it adds a little bit of fragrance, just like something nice to wake up to, but also the light is just a little bit more subtle than our night light. So it's just a nice little touch. I have one lonely sample, tester cube here. So this was in Pink Sugarberry Mint. I have talked about this before. I have a large bin full of tester scents that are no longer available. So these are all prior spring, summer bars or scents that have been long discontinued. So Pink Sugarberry Mint used to be a scent in the catalog, and essentially now I just have testers of it that I don't know what to do with. So I do share current catalog scents with my customers, but discontinued catalog scents, it feels, I don't know. I don't know what to really do with them. I could share them with my customers with the caveat that obviously you can't buy them if you like it. So it's a little bit tough sometimes. So I've been trying to melt these here in my office. This time though, since we talked last, probably 2 weeks, I've only used just one. So Pink Sugarberry Mint, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. So that's why it felt right to pop it in. Okay, let's get this brick out of the way. So worked on just 1 cube of blueberry cheesecake. This is a scent that I like fear melting because I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And then every time I put it in, I love it. I don't know why I do this. And honestly, I don't know if it's because it smells more lactonic on cold, like milky, cheesecakey, than it comes across when it's warming, because when it's warming, it's absolutely beautiful, but something about it puts me off warming it. Like, until I actually put it in the warmer and it's going, I'm like second guessing if I should actually warm it. This had been on top of my bricks to melt for the longest time, and I was just continually putting it off because I'm like, is it the right time? It's a beautiful scent. Of course it's the right time. I think this, honestly, even in the summer, like that blueberry note, I don't know why to me blueberry feels summery and like 4th of July-esque. I have no idea. It's probably because like I don't really eat blueberries. I don't really like blueberry pie, not my thing. I would never put blueberries on a cheesecake. I like the scent of it. I just am not a blueberry eater. So something about it to me feels summery. But it was really nice right now. I think I'm going to put it back in my brick pile and maybe just like shift it towards the bottom and try to work on some other ones. It'll be an attempt, but I'm glad I worked on the cube I did. This was from November of 2022, performed like a charm, got that brick through Scentsy Club. Okay, I have some bars that are not finished, so I think let's start with those. So first, I have the scent Strawberry Bliss, which I believe was from the Easter collection. I melted this because I wanted something to go with like a strawberry pound cake type of scent. And honestly, this got the strawberry down, but it's just like a very sweet, fruity strawberry. So I have 4 cubes left. It wasn't bad. It just, I feel like when I compare it to a strawberry pound cake, it's not the same. Like, I don't know why I'm expecting it to be the same. Very fruity, very sugary, definitely strawberry. I wouldn't say there's like a lot of other fruits going on in here. It just feels fruity strawberry. It feels a little bit more authentic than like a sugared strawberry. Not like super authentic strawberry, like you can taste, like smell the vine and everything, but like I would say this feels more authentic than sugar strawberry, because that sugar strawberry has like that like musky note in it, which I also like, don't get me wrong, but feels a little bit more authentic. Okay, then I warmed this one from the Mother's Day collection. It's the Strength Bar. We actually warmed this for samples for Happy Meal, so I guess I technically warmed some of it. Corey made samples from it though. This was my favorite. If you saw one of my last videos where I talked about the Mother's Day collection, this was definitely my favorite by far from that collection. To me, it kind of, this just occurred to me. This just very moment occurred to me. It kind of feels similar to Jet Set Go. If you recall the scent Jet Set Go, feels very similar to that, which is kind of just like a coconutty, almost like tropical fruit, but more heavy on the coconut. I feel like the tropical fruit almost gives it like a muskiness. Is there papaya in here? I could have totally made that up. I don't have the notes in front of me. I read them off in that video, but this is most definitely my favorite from that collection. I have most of this bar, as you can see, like I have like a half cube and then 6 full cubes. The bundle itself comes with all 3, and I would only probably get this one, but I don't know if I like want to add it to my club, because I could then see myself like not wanting to remove it from my club. Gemma's coming to join us. Hopefully she is behaving. So TBD on this. I have plenty of coconut scents that I like, and that's why I'm kind of trying to avoid like stocking up on it necessarily, but I'll warm it throughout the whole entire house and kind of evaluate what I think. And then we also, of course, made samples of the new scent of the month, Sunshine Mango. This is coming out on April 1st, just like the Strength Bar. This one smells so intensely mango and citrusy on cold. It was actually better when it was warming. It was still mango, but it just kind of calmed down a bit. Like it wasn't so citrus, like biting to my nose. I'm not a citrus scent fan, but while warming, it just kind of took it down just a little notch, and I actually enjoyed it much more. Obviously need to warm it throughout the rest of the house to kind of get a better opinion, but just these like 2 cubes that we put in to make samples filled the house pretty good. And it smelled a lot better than I was anticipating. So not a total L on this one, just not my type of scent, so I wasn't like gravitating towards it. Obviously Corey was like, yeah, that's a really good one, which I knew he was going to. He likes citrus types of scents. Okay. The rest of the scents. Okay, I think I did this one. I'm gonna start where I think I originally began after our last warming. I put in Vanilla Walnut, and I think I had most of this clam full that I put in, and I put it throughout my entire house. This is like reminds me of my grandma type scent, in the fact that she was like a vanilla gal, just like straight vanilla. Everything in her house kind of just smelled like vanilla. Like if she was choosing a scent, it was vanilla. Not any fancy bakery vanilla, just straight up plain. And this really reminds me of that. And so when I warmed it initially, when I was testing Bring Back My Bars, I really, really liked it. I just tested it in my office though. I put the rest of this bar throughout my whole open concept, and I think it just kind of got lost, or I just like, I couldn't really pick it up very well. So I am going to kind of try to switch up my warmer, I was gonna say strategy, but my warmer situation a little bit around the house. And whenever this comes into my club next, I'll just retest it, because it is in my club, because I did really like it originally. But I think I just need to test it again. Like if it really doesn't perform when I retest it, does it need to stay? Probably not, but I want to give it another shot because I do remember really liking it. So we'll wait till I get more of it. And then I also warmed the Disney Big Princess. This is like a I feel like this is the pink Starburst if we're talking about Starburst scents. So another scent that we have, Clementine Blossom from last year's Valentine's collection, really reminds me of the orange Starburst, and I feel like this one is very pink Starburst. Maybe just like a hint of muskiness or something else, but mostly pink Starburst. It's just really fun and fruity and girly. I feel like it's very fitting for like this type of Disney situation. So I have a few bars of this, so I finished that one up. And then also in the open concept did some lots of lavender, which to me, this scent just smells like a nice, pretty floral. Like I don't really get lavender. It just smells pretty to me. Initially when I put it in, I think I only put in 5 cubes throughout like my whole upstairs situation, kind of. Like throughout 4 warmers, I put 5 cubes. So like pretty much a cube a warmer. And at first, I was getting a little bit nervous because I could not smell it as it was pulling out. The bakery scent in the kitchen was like overtaking this. And after like a couple hours, once it was like really, you know, starting to kind of go in the warmer, it definitely got a lot stronger. But at first, when it was like starting to just pull out, I was like, why can't I smell this? Like I need to be able to smell this. But I also did it in the bedroom and it was awesome in there. I just feel like this is a scent that makes your house smell pretty. Like, not that you just cleaned or anything necessarily, but it just like smells nice. And so I really like it for that. And then 2 bakery scents I did, and these I've just been doing in my kitchen warmer. I find that I did the blueberry cheesecake in there. That's where that brick cube went. But just like having some of these more bakery centric scents like in the kitchen specifically makes that just like a cozier area. So not doing like a floral in the kitchen. Not that I won't ever do that again, but I feel like recently I've just been really into kind of segmenting the kitchen in its own kind of bakery zone. I should say we don't necessarily have like it is open concept. Like the kitchen isn't closed off, but it's like closed off on 3 sides kind of. But like there's like an area over, it's like a half wall that has like all our cupboards and our like fridge and stuff on it, but you can like, there's space above it. So it's not totally enclosed, but it's kind of in like its own little space. So it's not like the bakery scents in the kitchen are like completely closed off and like they're not escaping or anything like that. We don't have that enclosed type of kitchen, but they kind of just like generally linger around the kitchen, which is what I'm going for. And then the other scents kind of just do the same, unless one of them's way stronger than the other. But sometimes I'll kind of alternate when I change them so they don't like totally compete. But I've really been enjoying doing bakery in there. So I did a little bit of caramel praline cake, and this one is really nice. I did not put this one in my club, but I know I have a couple other bars of it. So really enjoyed that one. I think I only had 3 cubes of it left. And then I also finished up the, I had maybe 3 or 4 cubes in Churro here. This scent smells like nothing until you get a whiff of it. Like, it's insanity. It almost smells like nothing, but then it's in the warmer and you just like get a whiff of it and you're like, that smells really good. Like, how does that happen? And I know so many people are like, this doesn't smell like anything. And I stand by what I just said. Like, it doesn't smell like anything until you get that whiff and you get that scent and you're like, wow, wait a minute. That's like fried dough, sugary goodness. Like, it smells like a churro. Not in a bad way. Like, it smells so yummy. So, but not in the clam. Like, it just, you have to warm it and get that scent. It's really good. So, oh, I also worked on a little bit of this vendor wax. I forgot to mention this. This is from Rose Skulls. This is a Sweet Princess Party. Also been working on this in the office. So the office is kind of a hodgepodge of things. Sometimes I'll test scents in here. Sometimes I'll do those testers. Sometimes I'll do my vendor wax. Sometimes I'll just do what I'm doing in the rest of the house if I have extra cubes and I feel like I want to throw them in here. So the office is definitely miscellaneous zone, but I did work on a cube of that. I only have been doing one at a time because these are pretty big, but this has been doing nicely here in the office. Okay, now I'm going to transition to candles. Let me flip-flop empties to the basket so I don't forget. Okay, let's transition to candles. So I recently reorganized my candle stash and I pulled out all of my spring candles and put them like where I can visually see them all. And then I put everything else into the closet. So that is kind of how I want to organize my candle situation going forward and really like keep tabs on things. I have like a 6 little cube unit thing from Walmart and I have that in the closet. So like each kind of section is a season. So I have summer, fall, and winter in there because I pulled spring out. And I feel like that's gonna be kind of my gauge on how my collection is doing. Like if it's completely overflowing that, I obviously have too many. If they fit nicely in there or there's space, then I know I can add things in. So I don't think this is going to be a surprise. I'm on the point right now where I am at capacity. Like I really don't want to be adding things in, even though I do have a couple things from Crinkle from their new spring launch that I am like dying to test out, but I am restraining. I don't really have the money to spend right now. Like I could make it work probably, but I'm just trying to be responsible. And the fact that I don't really have the space or like technically want to bring anything in right now is holding me back, and thank goodness, because I need to be held back right now. So that is kind of the situation there. But because of that, because I kind of reorganized stuff, I feel like it's going to be a lot more enjoyable for me to pull specific candles because I am allowing myself, because I can see everything and is organized, to pull more of like whatever I want versus being as strict as I kind of was. And I feel good about that right now. We'll see how it goes over the next couple weeks, month, etc. But this is what I'm working on currently. And I just want to share with you like what I've burned since we last talked. And I feel like next time we chat, it will probably be a little bit more extensive since I'm kind of opening up myself to allow myself to do more. Does that make sense? Anyway, let's get into it. So the candle I'm working on like daily mornings as I'm getting ready in the bathroom is the Homeworks Berry Trifle. This is getting to the point where it's getting a little bit dirty. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, I can see it on the screen, so I'm hoping you can as well, like all around here. Getting a little bit dirty. I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like even the top layer of wax is getting a little dirty. And I'm starting to get to the point where the wicks are getting a little wonky. So this wick right here, you can't see it right now, but when this starts to like melt and liquefy, the base of this wick is like right here. So regardless, pretty soon I'm gonna be having an issue anyway. I think I'm actually gonna pop this into the candle crock. I'm pretty sure this will fit in the candle crock, but the candle I have in there now is done. So I'm gonna pop this into the crock and then kind of reshuffle my candles, if you will. And then the candle I've been working on in the mornings in like the kitchen area is this Goose Creek Pink Bunny Cupcake candle. And it's got a little bit of a packaging issue here, but I thought this would be a fun one for just kind of around like Easter. So I don't just honestly, because it says bunny on it, like that's literally the only reason. But I've only burned this one a couple times, and it definitely, on the first burn, it didn't pull out the whole entire way. Maybe on the second burn, and the wicks were kind of small, but on these subsequent burns, it's been doing a lot better. This is like basically a strawberry pound cake scent. I don't think I said that, but this is essentially like a rendition of strawberry pound cake. And so I thought it'd be very fitting and kind of like the almost Eastery theme. I've been really enjoying it. So I have been trimming these like kind of mini mushroom situations off of these wicks before relighting it. But yeah, this one has been going okay. As with all my candles, I'll just continue to burn it and monitor like how's she doing. If she starts acting naughty, I'll put her in the crock, but so far so good. And it seems to be throwing decent after like the second burn. So pretty happy about that, I guess. And then only 3 other candles. This is the In the Stars single wick. So this, I feel like I don't know if I was exactly at this line last time we talked, but this one I burned for quite a few hours yesterday, actually. I think I lit it up after lunch, and then it was a decent amount of time after, because I came back into my office to kind of like shut things down. I don't know. It was like after I had stopped work and stuff, maybe like right before dinner. So maybe like 1 to 6 or something. Like it was quite a bit of time. I shut my light off in here and the warmer was on and it was giving kind of like a little bit of a glow. And then over on like my other stand I have in here, I noticed it was kind of giving a little bit of glow, but it's behind this basket. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird that the warmer's like reflecting all the way over there. Like that just seems very odd, because it just logically, it didn't make sense. And then so I was like, what the heck? I don't know why. I was like, I'm gonna go check it out. And then I realized this candle was back there. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I looked down and this like giant mushroom, I don't know if you can see that like from a good angle, like it was mega flame, like this large mushroom was in there. And then I was like struggling to kind of like knock it over into the wax. I don't ever blow my candles out. I always try to dip them or like coat them in the wax to put them out to reduce like the amount of smoke and stuff. And so I could not hardly get it put out, and I just saw this like giant mushroom and I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? It actually like doesn't look that bad now that the candle's not lit. And honestly, like, I don't think anything really happened. It looks like I barely even burned it. Like, it's insanity. But after this one goes for a minute, it smells pretty good. So I feel like this one, I was doing it in the mornings, and maybe I'll give it a shot tomorrow morning since I'm gonna move the Homeworks one out. But I feel like this one has to go almost like at least 2 hours to really start projecting. And I don't know why that's the case. This is from 2019 though, I will say. So she is my oldest candle currently, but I don't know what the deal is with why this has to like really get going so like intensely before it starts doing anything. But I love the scent of it. So I try to just burn it on days when I can burn it for longer periods of time. Not necessarily like 6 hours, but sometimes that's the case. And then also worked a little bit on this Country Candle Blue Raspberry. So this is one of the first candles I'm burning in the Country line in the new like soy wax formula. I will say I'm definitely getting some like mushroom situations on here. And I feel like, I don't know if it's the wax or just the scent or what the situation was, but on the first burn of this, I didn't like the scent as much as I remember thinking I liked it. I had these scents in tea lights. I bought them in tea lights before I actually bought the scents. I didn't remember liking it as much as I thought I did. But then on the second burn, and I don't know if I've only burned it 2 times possibly, but on the second time, I liked it way, way more than I did the first one. So don't know if that was just like a total fluke, but I feel like it has been pooling out pretty well. Like it's totally pulled out, if you can see that, hopefully. The wax like discoloration change situation is kind of a little bit funny and not entirely appealing to the eye, but it's fine. It's whatever, as long as it performs well. I do feel like also I don't have to trim these wicks super, super short, as I do feel like I need to do on their paraffin wax candles. So overall, I'm happy with this. Obviously need to continue like burning it more. That's not like a super in-depth review. I've only burned it a couple times. And then also have been working on this scent Crinkle Marshmallow Morning. So I feel like this is massive. Like this is the size of my head. Here, let's do a reference situation here. This will be super helpful. 40-ounce Stanley. It's like the base of, well, the top part of the Stanley. That's how big these are. For reference, because when I first got my, like, the first large jar Crinkle I got, I was like, these are way bigger than I was expecting. And I feel like even now, sometimes unpackaging them still, I'm like, these are so big. Like, it catches me off guard. So there's a lot of wax in here. There's a lot of burn time. It's a lot, just like be aware. So this is their original-ish soy wax formula. So this burns really, really nicely. I do still find I get a little bit, they're not mushrooms, but it's just like a little something on there. And this is kind of random, but I feel like the longer I burn this, the less they do that. Super weird, right? Like if I burn this for maybe like 2 hours and that's it, I feel like they almost have like really big mushrooms, but then I'll come back an hour or two later and they look like this. I'm like, where did that go? They're genuinely self-trimming. It's kind of funny. So these ones, I don't worry quite as much about trimming. And I know people say that, but it does still kind of freak me out. Like on any other candle company, I would probably cut those, and I still might cut those just because it freaks me out that they're gonna like pop off and like hit something or land somewhere. That I don't like that. So this one just, it burns. Oh my gosh, sorry. That totally caught in my throat. I don't have water in that Stanley either. I just have ice. Okay, this is the last candle. So they do burn pretty clean, as you can see, but it kind of has this like residue. I don't know if that's normal because I haven't burned a ton of crinkle candles like down this far essentially, but it's kind of got this like residue. But honestly, it's kind of like a tree. This is gonna sound so random, but it's like a tree with the rings. Like I feel like you can kind of tell every single time I've burned it, like where the little ring is. You can kind of just tell where the candle has stopped burning, you know. Gosh, it's still in my throat. How trees, like every year they grow or whatever, they like have an extra ring if you like cut them down. Goodness. So yeah, I'm not crying. My eyes watering because it's tickling my throat so bad. So yeah, I feel like that's the situation with this candle. I'll have to like test my other crinkles and see like if it does this. I don't feel like I see this on other people's, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's not a thing. Like I feel like everyone obviously, everyone treats their candles differently. So gosh, that's really bothering my eye. So yeah, I didn't even talk about this scent. This Marshmallow Morning kind of reminds me of just like marshmallows and a hint of like a really sweet cinnamon. Like it really does smell like Lucky Charms, like on this picture. It honestly does. But I feel like this is just a good like background vanilla. I've been burning this a lot just with like things I don't really know what to pair them with. So like I did it when the blueberry cheesecake was going. I feel like it blended with those other two bakery ones. I just feel like it blends really nicely. Versus like the blue raspberry, I feel like I need to have sort of like a citrusy scent already going. So really been enjoying this. I feel like it also pairs fine with this because it's like a strawberry pound cake. So we'll probably just keep working away on this. But now that I feel like I have my candle set out, I'm really excited to kind of pull some different things that I normally haven't been using or like thinking about. I totally forgot they're in my collection, etc. So now that the bug is apparently out of my throat, now that the video is over, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these What I've Been Warming videos. I feel like I'm on a pretty good schedule with this like bi-weekly upload. Let me know what you think about that. Would you like more often shorter, or do you like this bi-weekly format, like this length? So yeah, let me know down below and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.